Northern China is now in a state of emergency as torrential rains continue to batter the region, unleashing catastrophic flooding from Beijing to the Central Plains. On July 29, 2025, relentless rainfall pushed infrastructure past its breaking point, trapping residents, collapsing roads, and submerging entire neighborhoods. It is the worst flood to strike the Beijing region since the infamous deluge of 2012, and it's not over yet. The Miyun Reservoir, which supplies water to over 20 million people in Beijing, saw record high inflows of 6,550 cubic meters per second overnight. Authorities had no choice but to release floodwaters, intensifying downstream flooding. More than 6,000 residents were evacuated from Beijing's northeastern districts, including Miyun, Pinggu, and Huairou, as water engulfed roads and low-lying villages. Just across the border in Hebei province, the situation turned deadly. A massive landslide in Fangshan district buried several homes, leaving at least 5 people dead and 9 missing. Search and rescue teams, some using heavy machinery and others forced to dig by hand, battled mud and rock under continuous rain. Helicopters hovered over submerged villages, airlifting the elderly and children to safety. Local rivers, including the Yongding and Chaobai, have breached their banks in multiple places. Entire suburbs have turned into inland lakes, with floodwaters rising up to 2 meters in some areas. Videos from the scene show cars stacked atop one another, buses floating sideways, and residents clinging to street signs as currents tear through city blocks. The power grid has taken a major hit. Over 12,000 households are now without electricity, and in many areas, drinking water supplies have been contaminated. Emergency shelters are overwhelmed, as families flee rising water with little more than the clothes on their backs. China's National Meteorological Center issued a red alert, the highest level, for heavy rainfall across northern Hebei, Tianjin, and parts of Beijing, warning that precipitation totals could exceed 200 millimeters in 24 hours. Experts from the Ministry of Water Resources confirmed that dozens of rivers in the High River Basin are now above warning level, and more breaches are possible in the coming hours. Meteorologists blame a rare convergence of 2 stalled air masses, a mid-tropospheric trough and a western Pacific subtropical high, for locking intense thunderstorms over the region for days. The result is a devastating weather system that dumps nearly a month's worth of rain in a single night. The government has mobilized over 15,000 emergency personnel, including firefighters, military engineers, and Red Cross volunteers. Drones and inflatable boats are being deployed to locate stranded civilians, while sandbags and barriers are rushed to vulnerable embankments. With forecasts predicting continued rain through the end of the week, authorities are warning that the disaster could worsen before it gets better. For millions in northern China, July 29th has become a day of fear, loss, and survival. A reminder of how quickly nature can upend the foundations of one of the world's most powerful cities.